Hello. Hello and welcome to another episode of ALLin Live and HEX Therapy Live. I'm your host, ALLin, and the hexologist is just getting ready to rate us. So I'm going to play the long intro here so everyone has a chance to join, and then we'll get started with this episode, which has to do with the fact that self-esteem is an action verb and what that means and how that can make your hands stronger when it comes to Bitcoin and HEX and all your digital value. So stick around and enjoy the clips. Thank you for joining. I think the hexologist, he's still wrapping up his show. I'm excited to have everybody here who's already joined, and we'll be right back after these 30-second messages. Hey everybody, so I'm excited to get into the topics here of self-esteem as an action verb, and I know we still got a bunch of people getting ready to join, so I wanted to go ahead and just make a little small talk, kind of tell you some late-breaking things, some exciting news from the world of ALLin and the world of HEX Therapy. So some of you have heard of this new app called Clubhouse, and it's pretty popular. I think Elon Musk even has more followers on Clubhouse, because I just got on there. More followers on Clubhouse, twice as many as on Twitter. So Clubhouse is blowing up, and there's no reason why, because really Clubhouse, all it is a podcast where you can't see anybody's face. So if you're a celebrity and you're like, oh, I don't want to do my makeup, Elon Musk, he always does his makeup before he goes on camera. And before he builds rockets, but this time he doesn't have to do it. So anyway, I don't get the hype, but anyway, the newest thing now that's being tested and is live is Twitter Spaces. So recently, Twitter rolled out Twitter Fleets, which is their version of Instagram, but they've already started testing and launching a version of Clubhouse called Twitter Spaces. And it's so brand new that nobody knows how to use it. And there's some B-list like Bitcoin people who are, super exciting. They have like 25,000 followers and stuff. They're just doing, like, I got on one 2 days ago with Aubrey Strobel. And then I got on one earlier today with somebody else. And, these are pretty big, like Bitcoin influencers, and they just let me on to speak. So, I'm throwing down, like, I could pretty much any topic in cryptocurrency I can speak on, right? Like NFTs. All right. I've launched NFTs, right? Hex badges. What else do you want to know about? Tether, FUD. I've read all the reports. Like, I know everything. I'm not going to say I know everything. I didn't know anything about like regulatory uncertainty in Bitcoin because that's not even a real topic. And, what else? So I spoke on that. I spoke on mental health. I spoke on Bitcoin a lot. I spoke on onboarding people on Ethereum. But every time I get onto one of these platforms, I'm getting these people following me back on Twitter. I'm building my influence in the Bitcoin community, which I really didn't think I would do, but Bitcoin was my first love, and I know so much about it. I can throw down with the big dogs, but then I always mention Hex, and there's always like a ton of silence afterwards. But whatever, like they need to hear it, and it's part of our mission, right? To let people know and to sneak our way into podcasts, and I know Richard, he did the same thing when he got on Clubhouse, and a big Bitcoin influencer let him in to the speaker side, and he started talking about Hex, and people freaked out and like cut him off. So for me, I haven't been cut off on these Twitter Spaces. So it's the same thing as Clubhouse except Twitter Spaces. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get maybe some sort of invite now that I've got some of the people who are initial testers for Twitter. I'm going to see if one of them can hook me up so I can be one of the first people on there too. But if not, all I did, I just joined. I just logged into Twitter, and it's been 2 times in a row. So I really think the universe like wants me to tell Bitcoin people about Hex. Like, I didn't know I was signing up for this. I just logged into Twitter, and it was a brand new icon, and it said like, oh, join this space. So I was like, I'll join a space. And then all of a sudden, boom, now they just let you be a speaker if you request. Like, it's a really cool experience I've had the last couple of days, like throwing down knowledge and promoting Hex in sneaky ways that aren't so sneaky, right? Because like, why would you buy into something that's so centralized whenever you could buy into something that it pays such high APY as 40%, 60% APY, depending on how long you lock your coins in Hex. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the best part of the whole thing. So today, when I was on this Twitter Spaces podcast, the Wall Street Bets chairman, this guy basically, who has almost 1 million followers on Twitter and who has 8 million followers on Twitter, or on, what is it called? All right. The chat's going to let me know what it's called. It's Reddit, on Reddit. That guy was listening. Like, you could see he was one of the people in the crowd. And I was like, yep. Gnosis safes, Ethereum. We love Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, Hex, Staker app, like, yo. And so he listened to my whole pitch, even though I was going easy on it, but I definitely know for sure now he's heard the word Hex and crypto put together, because I just dropped the bomb on him like earlier, like an hour ago. So, I was sitting there, I was like starstruck, I took a screenshot like, oh, this guy's listening to me. He's got 8 million followers who all love pump and dumps. And, the best part is they're going to get involved in Hex. They're going to pump it, and then they're never going to dump it because Hex treats you so well. So, people learn their lesson, but we're getting the word out there. And like I said, the universe, it seems like wants HEX to do well and wants these opportunities to present themselves. So I'm very humbled and excited. So yes, David, thank you for congratulating me on surviving another 7-hour stream with the Quant Gang we did on Tuesday. I'm not going to ruin it, but again, I would say if you watch the last 15 minutes of the first episode we ever did, Wales only falls asleep, and it's like the most I've ever laughed on a stream. And then if you watch the last 15 minutes, well, last 30 minutes of this last one, that's when he presented the coolest chart I've ever seen in HEX, which shows what the what the price to earnings ratio is in HEX. And I'm probably going to do a special episode about that. But go ahead and follow Wales Only on YouTube because he's trying to build his brand and he's doing a lot of really awesome work for the community. And Kareem and Wales and I were all like, all right, we're like, now that we've looked at the numbers, we're ending the stream so we can go buy HEX. And sure enough, I did. Let's see here. What's going on? Nardo, Crypto 303, let's do this. Coin Noob HEX just came from the Hexo. What's up? I'm glad you guys joined. We're just recapping some late-breaking things that have been happening in the HEX space before we get into the mental health stuff. So I always want to rope you guys in with the latest and the greatest, and then go on to the therapy skills. The guy who ended, who good end staked near $1 billion. What does this mean? Oh, that's cool. I know. Well, I mean, what does it mean? It means that somebody is saving their HEX for tax purposes and not creating that taxable event when somebody good accounts their stake. I didn't hear that it was $1 billion that was good accounted, but if that's the case, good for them. If they have to sell a bunch of coins to pay taxes, then we don't really like that, do we? Well, no, I mean, I like it because then I get to buy HEX on the cheap, right? So I just keep dollar cost averaging. That's what I'm doing. I dollar cost average all my other cryptos. I'm like 80% in HEX, and I just keep accumulating. So I would love, I would love one of these whales, and I'll speak on that here in a minute when I get done saying hi to the chat. I've got some other late breaking news that you may or may not have heard of about who some of the whales are and what their plans are. So Bill Hewitt, hello. Nice to see you. Oh, by the way, guys, you have to check out my mug. I was saving this. So I am drinking the tears of HEX haters. Cheers. I hope you drink the tears as well. Tastes like Red Bull. What's up and to the right? Good point. Hit me with some therapy. We're going to get to it. I got some screens already loaded up. Serena Alonzi, how's it going? Nazarvo, nice to see you. Crypto Gains Club, how's it going? Ink, Superman, Hex, 5555. Yes, Tarnwick, how's it going? Children of the Grave. When Clubhouse Coin? Oh, yeah, we should work together and launch that. Cookie Boys has a lot of programming skills, so we could get him in on that. Of course, we would dump on everybody's heads so we could buy HEX, but it's all good. What's up? One Hexy Mofo, Ink, Superman, Ballet Brand, so good to see you. I enjoyed your stream the other day, yesterday. Knowledge Bombs are the best. Glackmatic, thanks for saying that the streams are legendary. I would say the community is legendary. I'm just here flapping my lips. Let's see. How about you go through the entire discussion about an opportunity in crypto that pays 40% APY? Oh, you mean when I'm on these talks? Yeah, like that's the plan. It's kind of hard to read the room when it's just voices. And honestly, I thought that I would never get invited back. But again, like the platform is so new, I think they're just letting people on. So I would encourage anybody who sees one of these spaces pop up on Twitter, hop on it and it's kind of like a raid, right? And like at this point, all the people who have 25,000 followers on Twitter in Bitcoin, like they have heard of HEX, right? And they have not bought it yet, probably. and their Bitcoin is worth more than ever. So like, I want to ease them in so easily, right? Like, or they just won't get in. That's fine. Like, I'll keep buying cheap hacks, and we're not gonna have a problem with adoption, people. Like Hex is gonna continue to go up even in an irrational world. Like in a rational world, Hex will go up. In an irrational world, Hex will go up. Like, and if I'm wrong, like, well, I'm 80% in Hex with my crypto bags, and like I feel great about it. So I think that they've heard of it, but what they aren't expecting, right? Like I'm a double agent. They aren't expecting me to go in there and say a bunch of good things about Bitcoin and drop a bunch of knowledge about this and that, right? And they didn't like. I could tell when people don't know, they are not in the know. Whenever I'm dropping knowledge, like I do on the stream, I'm like, hey, Facebook stablecoin rebranded from Libra to DM. It's genius that they named it DM for a number of reasons. And it's going to be launching any month. Like, so y'all are talking about stablecoins, and like Facebook has 2.5 billion users, right? More than any currency in the world. So like the more I feel like the more value I add, and that's what's happening. They're following me, right? I'm sucking them in so smoothly, right? Like now what's going to happen, right? Like some of these people with a lot of followers, they're going to happen in on one of my live streams because they're going to wonder what my face looks like, or they're going to wonder what kind of a guy I am, right? And I have engineered my social or my Twitter existence like very carefully. Like my name is Maddie.eth, ALLin, staker.fun, right? And so it doesn't mention Hex in the headline, but then you're going to get hit with the first Hex conference, right? If you are even landing on my homepage on Twitter. So super stealth, Maddie 00369, secret agent. Like that's the game I'm playing. There's lots of games we could play. People could go in there and just be Hex, Hex, Hex. Oh, like not even related to the topics they're talking about, but I'm taking a much more meticulous approach, and so far so good. Quant Gang becoming my favorite streams. Awesome. Yeah, me too. The last 30 minutes were gold. Very, very, very good. I'm glad you agree. Mental wealth. Yes. Not your health, not your wealth. And that's why we're here to pump your mental health, hopefully as much as your Hex bags, but that's going to be hard to keep up with because Hex went up 352x, and a lot of us got 100x gains already, right? Those of us who were in a year so far. RH said they got their Hex from the OA. Who did? Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I would love to know more about that. Did I say that clearly? Wow, the chat's really active. Thanks, guys. Yeah, keep it up. LOL. Cheers. Yes, your Hexcellence. Very good name. Water's gonna turn into wine in 15 years. That's right. The tears of the Hex haters. And what else? We got rocket ships going off. Major FOMO from everyone that called it a scam. Yeah, I love that Hex was called a scam early on, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to buy such cheap coins. I mean, let's be real. Let's talk about this. Like, if Hex didn't seem like such, Hex, I believe, was designed to look like a scam at first. I mean, Richard has said that. Go back. Seriously, if you go back and you study like the live streams in Hex, like there's so much you can learn. And for me, it doesn't get revealed until later stages of the game, like when the website updates, and now we've got a beautiful hex.com. And then all of a sudden I see from 6 months ago, Richard and Hexo doing an interview, and Richard was like, yeah, we're intentionally making the website bad so people know that they're still early. Like, that's genius. Please say my name, speaker of the truth great. No problem. Please subscribe and like and share and turn on the bell notification. I'm like gives a minute, you know? I give you my time and you give me your likes, and pound that like button. Thanks, guys. Don't have to worry about Hex adoption because Hex will adopt you. Boom. I love that. Quote it. Put the quote down. Get it tattooed. Get that tattoo. Quote it on. Get that quote tattooed on, you know? Not everybody has a Hex tattoo yet. So what are you people doing? You know, like, I don't have any tattoos, but you know, I'm thinking of getting Richard's face tattooed on my face 1-to-1. Let's see. It's because you're one of the easiest people to listen to. Oh, thanks. You're too kind. Very too kind. Lights out. Thank you so much for the cheer. I really appreciate your guys' donations. And I think like whenever you guys do a super chat or a cheer or whatever, I mean, that's telling the platform, right? The platform's getting a cut, and that's telling them, oh, we need to bring more people in to watch this stream. And that's more people who hopefully will find out about Hex one way or another. When will Hex be $1? Well, my Staker app referral, I need to label it up here, this pink QR code. It's actually $hex.com. So if you go to $hex.com, you will land on my Staker app page where you can download the Staker app. So when will it be $1 for a Hex? So that's called dollar parity, right? So Bitcoin achieved dollar parity, right? A year or two in. Hex hasn't been in that long. You know, Hex is only 1.2 years old. And really, if you look at the charts that Whales Only does, some of them start at the end of the launch phase because that's when the free market data is really showing up. And so I think if you look at Hex being, you know, in between, 2.5 months old, and well, how long was it since Big Payday? 4 months old versus 1.3 years old. You know, I think Hex won't be $1 yet, although Hex will probably be $1 sooner than most people realize. I ask myself, like, at what price will I become allergic to Hex? Like, allergic to the price. And we haven't found it yet. And I think as long as Hex pays 40% to 60% APY, I think it's going to be pretty hard to get allergic to any price, right? Because you're getting paid so well. When will Hex be at $1? Great job. That's a good question. So Facebook is allowing that Chinese social media platform playbook over there. Your bank, yeah. The social credit system. That's a trip, isn't it? Let's see. It's also like that Black Mirror episode, right? Cheer. Hey, thanks, cuz D1. You're the best. I appreciate it. Oof. Sup, Big Hexy. I'll be restaking it $1. All the newcomers say when $10. That is correct. And $10 will come sooner than most people realize. And we've looked at the numbers on QuantGang. You can go and you can look at that thumbnail. And the thumbnail says 1 penny to $10 is the next 1,000x that Hex will do. It wasn't designed that way, but marketed that way for sure. Yeah, I mean, Hex is not a scam, but it sounds too good to be true. And it's not. And you can learn about it, right? And all of us have. And we've been trying to poke holes in Hex since the beginning. And then you go read the code, right? Go to allmylinks.com/allin. And there are like 3 different links where you can read the code. You can read summaries of the code. You can read the audits. Like, I hook it up and I update that, right? Like I update all my links for you and for me. Cause I mean, why not? Why not have everything organized? I'm not an organized person by nature, but I'll be organized, if I'm serious about something. And it depends what it is. Let's see. There's so much great Hex content being created. We are a lucky community. We're so lucky. Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for the great content and all the great views. It's exciting to see so many people watching the streams. I never imagined that I would be able to help so many people, talking about mental health and having such a big audience already. So you guys, I really appreciate it. Yoden, thank you so much. We got a super sticker. I appreciate it. That is awesome. Yes, we love our YouTube stickers, and that's great. You're very, very kind. Hex will be $1 exactly February 26th, 2023 at 5:00 p.m. JK, probably sooner than that. Yeah, the random line that keeps showing up on the Hex Crypto Twitter account that is probably run by the founder, that keeps showing a much higher number than that. Let's see. Crypto Coffee showing us how to cut hair. Did he get a haircut? Let's see. The maths and code don't lie. Yeah, guys, I've been providing therapy to people all day. I still work at least half time, if not a little bit more, working in a clinic, doing therapy. And I even got a chance to go on a run today. Exercise helps keep your mind mentally healthy as well. So I haven't been able to catch up on the Hex content all today that's come out, but I did save Crypto Coffee's new video so I can watch it. I'm a noob to Hex, got some, but not nearly enough. Still buying ETH through Coinbase Pro and at Wire, but Wire allows only 2 withdrawals a month. Where do you buy ETH so I can buy more Hex? Okay, great question. Let's answer it here. So I buy through Coinbase, and I have such a long history with them that they pretty much let me send it pretty soon. And I dollar cost with other cryptos as well. But I know in the past I've used CoinMama as a way to buy when I wasn't buying through Coinbase, and that allowed me to buy a certain amount. I'm not sure how much. I think I bought before like $500 or $1,000 worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum in a day. It kind of comes down to what your bank's relationship is to some of these platforms. But another platform that we just found out about on the Hex Quant stream with Gary, aka Funding Jim, is he outlined a way to immediately buy Bitcoin by going through Liberty X, and there's an app, and you can take cash into like a Walgreens, and they'll load it for you immediately, and then you take your Bitcoin and put it into wrapped Bitcoin through Ren BTC bridge. Let me see. I took notes the other day so that I would be able to put them in the show notes. But this is another way to get in. Let me see if I can search my notes. Bridge.renproject.io, and then you can take your wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped ETH and go to 1inch.eth.link. So I haven't tried that myself. But again, these are OG Hexicans that are sharing this. And so that's going to be hopefully helpful information. And at some point I'll try out all these methods and be able to report back to you even more. But for now, it's that's what I've got for you. A lot of people are using Gemini, right? So, okay. So I wanted to reward people for sticking around in the first 25 minutes with another bit of news for Hex, another bit of new information. So I watched Silver the Antidote's analysis. I watched it on 1.5x, so I was able to watch it in like 40 minutes. And he does an analysis of one of the one hedge fund that we know has bought into Hex, Three Arrows Capital. So again, I'm probably going to do a special episode that'll be 20 or 30 minutes just on that. As soon as I get done watching the full conference call that the Three Arrows CEO had with a couple Bitcoin podcasters, it's really exciting to hear what their stance is on projects. Basically, they buy and they don't sell. and then they invest more into projects that do well, and they pay attention to communities and stuff. So make sure to watch Silver the Antidote's analysis of that, and then you'll get probably a condensed version from me as well. We also love Silver the Antidote's new channel, Yes and No Adventures, where he shows his face and travels all around the world and draws in a new audience to pull into HEX. Yes, I never thought I would enjoy looking at Excel so much. And if you look at his videos now, even his analysis and stuff is, of course, great. I didn't realize that a hedge fund was in HEX. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm here for, guys, is to, I watch HEX content too. Like, I'm out here trying to learn as much as I can so that I can bring a quality show to you guys and I can support the community. Hit the like button here, and we appreciate. Hey, thanks, Hector the Protector, 50 bits. Thank you very much. Now, let's have a serious discussion about our mental health, because mental health does affect your investing mindset, right? Because when you take better care of yourself, then you're going to have stronger hands. Your prefrontal cortex is going to be more developed, and you're going to be in a better position to not get emotional. You're going to be in a better position to grow as somebody who learns how to manage a huge amount of wealth that we expect that HEX is already creating for people, right? And so that's why, thankfully, a lot of the other HEX streamers, they prescribe you to come to the HEX Therapy show, so I can help to pump your mental health and your bags, right? So mental health is part of your balanced lifestyle, and it's part of it should be part of your experience in HEX, which is why I'm so glad that so many people have been watching. So without any further ado, I actually did this topic back when I first started streaming, and it didn't get as many views, of course, back then when I was first starting as my streams do now. And so that's why I wanted to cover it again. This is the topic of self-esteem. The reason why self-esteem is so important is because it's a representation of how you feel about yourself. And when people feel good about themselves, then they're more likely to care for themselves. They're more likely to have healthy relationships, and they're more likely to live longer, happier lives. So what we're really talking about is a way to hack your quality of life. Now, self-esteem, I like to put in the title and say that self-esteem is an action verb, because I think in our society, a lot of times self-esteem is treated like something you either have or you don't have. And in fact, nothing could be farther from the truth. Self-esteem is something that you do. And when you esteem yourself, it's just the same as esteeming someone else, which means you speak highly of somebody, you compliment them, right? And you make positive comments, right? And so that's what people need to be doing to themselves, right? And so a lot of times people have a kind of a voice inside of their head, and a lot of times that voice can be negative. And a lot of times that voice can just not even be there, right? It can be silent too. And that's a part of your attentional system and a part of your mind where you're processing the things that are happening around you. And what we find is that when people get too caught up in their own thoughts and in their own feelings, then they're much more likely to get stuck in addictive behaviors or in just not optimizing their own behavioral health. And so when you esteem yourself, what you're doing is you're having a conversation with yourself about yourself. And as scary or insane as that might sound, it's worth a try, okay? And so what you want to do when you're esteeming yourself is primarily you want to create this as a mindful event, okay? speaking highly of yourself and giving yourself compliments, it doesn't come naturally to most people. And most people, such as myself, even when I practice what I preach and I get into the habit of esteeming myself, then it still falls by the wayside. And I forget to do it unless I'm making it an intentional part of my day. And so what we literally recommend is like getting a Post-it note or a permanent marker or whatever it takes, maybe not a permanent marker, and like writing on your fridge or your TV or the mirror in your bathroom, like writing a compliment to yourself, right? And so what that does is it puts a reminder in your way in order to make it an event where you're reminded to say something positive to yourself, right? And the more that you do this, really, it could become mundane and it could, again, fall by the wayside. And so that's why oftentimes you might need to practice new behaviors or strategies to attach that behavior of self-esteem to. And so in that sense, we could think of it as like a behavioral trigger. So what's one I heard? Like whenever you arrive home for the day, right? You could literally esteem your house. Like, and this is more of a kind of a collectivist, like Eastern thing to do, is to say like, thank you, house, for giving me so much shelter and protection and for being so awesome. And then you can remember to esteem yourself, right? You might esteem yourself when you're looking in the mirror or when you're waking up in the morning. You could have your gratitudes at that moment. Some people, even when I assign this as therapy homework, give yourself one compliment a day. Some people will tell their phone to remind them. So, hey Siri, remind me to give myself one compliment a day. And then Siri will remind you at whatever automatic time it is chosen. Or you could set that reminder for yourself. And I've had a number of clients who really liked that method because whether they are traveling or away from home or the Post-it note falls off their bathroom mirror, then they still have that electronic reminder in order to esteem themselves. What else do we know about self-esteem? So we know that it's something that needs to be an intentional process that you structure into your day. We also know that it's something where people who are chronically negative or who are in chronically negative environments, they lose sight, or they a lot of times don't even have the vocabulary that they need in order to esteem themselves correctly. And this is what we see, especially in populations that are more stressed or are more mentally ill, having more struggles with depression or anxiety or low socioeconomic status, right? We find that the brain kind of shuts down under stressful conditions. And a lot of times people can resort to simply calling things good or bad, right? Into that category. And so what we want to do as a part of HEX Therapy is to expand your vocabulary of positive words. And so whereas you can go online and you can search what are some positive words, a positive word list, I have a positive word list to share with you right now. And so this is a handout from a website called therapistaid.com. Let me go ahead. I'm going to copy the domain so I can put it into the show notes and I can drop it here into the chat for everybody. And I'll try to catch up with the chat here in just a minute once I finish going over some of these skills. But I just dropped in there. It's therapistaid.com, and they have tons of awesome workbooks or worksheets that are out there for people to be able to use. Let's see. So if we go to just therapistaid.com, I know they just redid their website. They've got topics for anger, anxiety, cognitive behavioral therapy. Here I can zoom in a little bit more for people. Communication, depression, emotions, So we might go through more worksheets because I know that that's been helpful for a lot of people so far. The self-esteem worksheets, and then they have this whole list. They have ones for kids, they have ones for adults, right? They have my strengths and qualities worksheet. They have a worksheet about strengths and a self-esteem journal that people can do. And so these are things that you can print out, and it's all free. And it's another way to structure your ability to participate and to act on these mental health skills. Positive traits word list, right? And so kind, intelligent, hardworking, loyal, attractive, down to earth, goofy, creative, accepting, strong, right? The list goes on and on. When you don't have a list and when you don't build up your vocabulary of positive words, then a lot of times your brain won't be able to do as good of a job of listing or of esteeming yourself, right? And so go ahead and use that as a resource. Go ahead and look at the list now and write down for yourself, or you can share it with the audience. Share what's one trait, what's a positive trait of yours that you can esteem yourself with now. So you say, I'm not organized. I am attractive. I am intelligent. I am hardworking, right? And so go ahead and do that now that I'm prompting you. Go ahead and do your first prompted self-esteem activity. So give yourself a compliment here and make it a good one. I'm going to be drinking the tears of HEX haters while you do that. Awesome. So let's catch up with the chat here real quick. And then I will drop another gem as to what some of the struggles are when people actually try to start esteeming themselves more. I'll go over what goes wrong and how you can avoid some of the traps there. So let's see here. We had people talking about the hedge fund that's in HEX. Very good. Wow, how far did I get behind? You guys, very awesome. Let's see. Thank you for your service. My pleasure. They're front running everybody else. Yeah. And we don't want hedge funds to take over HEX. We want regular people to take it over. So I will definitely FUD them out of their position if I have to. Please explain good accounting. Oh, I already tried to explain that, but we can learn more about that in the future once I've reviewed it. I don't want to speak on things that I don't know about. I'll subscribe right now. Oh, thanks. I'll learn tons through the community. I appreciate it. Really love what you're doing. Thanks, T-Don. I do not destroy my enemy when I make him my friend. Very good. Ab in the Omnicast. Speaker, if you rewind a bit. Oh, looking out for me. Thanks, Crypto303. Is it okay to esteem a hot dog? Oh, this is an excellent question, and my answer might surprise you, okay? In the book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, she outlines basically the idea that if you do esteem the objects around you, you know, whatever that might be, I don't think she mentions hot dogs specifically, but she's talking about, you know, esteeming your clothes. She talks about that, right? And believe it or not, I tried this and it worked. Like, the idea comes from the Eastern philosophy that whenever you put positive energy into the space around you, into specific objects, that positivity is reflected back to you as part of the properties of the universe. And like, sure enough, give it a try. Like, you know, read the book or like Google, go to pdfdrive.com and get a free copy of The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and then do Control Find and look for the part about socks. No, I'm not talking about uni socks that sell for $40,000 to $80,000 on the blockchain. I'm talking about regular old socks. And Marie Kondo talks about how rolling your socks up like little sushi balls, giving them the love that they deserve, and in fact, esteeming your clothing, how it reflects positivity back to you. And again, like I can attest to this. There's not a lot of stuff that I really preach that I don't practice, because once I see it working for a lot of people and for my clients, then I get jealous of their mad gains in their mental health, and I'm like, all right, sign me up. Like I will follow my own advice here. So I've never esteemed a hot dog. Oh, you're talking about steaming it, like how hot dogs are made. Okay, that's funny. Bet you didn't think I was gonna go there with actually answering the question instead of realizing it was a joke. All right, good. T Don, Telegram legend. Old trick, take care of yourself like you would if you were caring for someone else you were responsible for. Excellent point. Let's see here. Profound when you heard the quote from Richard. We are all idiots. I just watched Richard Hart's videos. Yes. And we are happy, rich idiots, in fact. You'll hear Richard also say in one of his streams from the past month, he says, hey, there are a lot of HEX streamers who are almost as intelligent as he is because we listen to his every word, and then we're able to answer questions in much the same way that he does. And so maybe that's too kind to say that we are almost as smart as the genius of Richard Hart, but hey, it came out of his mouth. So yes, he calls people idiots, but he also esteems people, in fact, too. He threw me a huge shout out the other day, praising me for doing the mental health show. And, of course, that really warmed my heart. The only thing rarer than T-shares is getting Richard Hart to like something on Twitter or to shout you out in a live stream. So it felt great. Another one of my favorite quotes of Elon Musk: "Fate loves irony. Seems to describe HEX." Ooh, I like that one too. Let's see. I think you need to accomplish something before you pat yourself on the back. Okay, we will get to that. Excellent point. Okay. When we're talking about self-esteem. Cuz is keeping me honest over here. You're making some good points. Ironic that people think it's a scam when in actuality it saves you from scam. Ironic or fate? Good point. Never heard of that one. Okay. I'm hugging trees. Good. I'm sure the trees appreciate your hugs. Cookie Boys, I was talking about you earlier. We're needing your coding skills so we can launch Clubhouse Coin and then funnel all the money back into HEX. You can also thank yourself for not engaging in destructive behaviors. Excellent. Hope that people do that, because that's also going to relate to how we're going to draw the self-esteem part into the action part that's not just verbal, as people are already intuiting. We must have a pretty smart audience here, so I appreciate that. It's incredible how Hexicans take each of their unique talents and use them to better the community. You're all the best. Thank you, Fugnuts and Extraordinary Crypto, doing a short vid every day. Awesome. We love more content, and short videos allow people to see them, more quickly and in a more efficient manner. I always believe in Parkinson's law, where if you put time limits on stuff, then you get more done. I want to say the last Hex Quant stream, I want to say we might have defied that, because, if you listen to it, there's not a lot of fluff. There's not a lot of points where we're just like burning out the clock or something. I learn from those guys, and I learn from myself whenever I get a chance to discuss HEX very deeply with people who understand it. I mean, we really stumble upon emerging information about HEX, which is really cool. My self-esteem is too high. How can I tone it down a little bit? By using gratitudes. That's a great way to self-regulate your self-esteem. Let's see. So I listed where you can find the positive traits list. People are saying hi to each other in the chat. Let's see. I am honest. I am staked. Okay, all good things. Which one is, who did it better though? Hit me up on Telegram. I am Bran. Awesome. Thanks for the Omega. Okay, Omega 369 people. Let's talk about it again, because this is probably one of the things that changed my life the most, was starting to take Omega 3. And I learned about it when I was studying psychology, clinical psychology in the graduate program where I studied, and I accidentally took a class with a bunch of rat scientists. And they were like, oh yeah, omega-3, it really helps all these rat brains because it stops the electricity from leaking out of the nervous system, right? Because your axons that run through your body, right? That's what moves your muscles, right? And then it's also what funnels electricity to your mind and allows the electricity, right? In your body, you have electrical to chemical to electrical to chemical signaling. And so you have neurotransmitters that they build up on a synaptic button. And then once enough builds up, you get the neuron firing. And then each neuron is connected to between 2 and 1,000 other neurons. And so when it hits the end of that axon, then it triggers in the synaptic junction for neurotransmitters to be released that are being held as messengers. And so the brain can decide how to propagate a message and create data basically by choosing which neural pathways to trigger when. And so that's how you get the brain wave activity, the electrical impulses that I used to measure as well in my neuroscience job. But so what we're talking about here is when the neurons when they're creating their electrical impulses, it really doesn't matter how much brain power you have if the electrical signals are not making it to their final destinations at the end of the axon. And this is the case that we see when people have MS, which is multiple sclerosis. Then it's a disorder of the body's immune system, not the brain, but it's where the immune system goes in and starts attacking the myelin sheath, so omega-3 is the material that your body needs to create the myelin sheath, which is the electrical insulation that allows the axons to do their job. And so unfortunately, over a long period of years, people with MS eventually become paralyzed because those electrical signals can't make it to their muscles. Now, taking omega-3 doesn't cure the problem in the body with MS of the immune system attacking the myelin sheath and leaving those wires bare so that they can't move the muscles. But it turns out that the average American is, although not underweight, most Americans are malnourished, and omega-3 is one of the materials that should be in all forms of food, but has been missing ever since it stopped working its way up the food chain. And so, whereas cavemen and cavewomen got plenty of omega-3, people in today's society typically don't. And so I recommend it for people because just like if in MS, if your muscles can't get their electrical signals, they can't function. In the brain, if your prefrontal cortex isn't insulated enough, then it can't get the energy that it needs in order to control your human functions, which include problem solving, emotional regulation. These are all things the prefrontal cortex does. Planning, regulating anger, to some extent, parenting and healthy relationships require emotional regulation and require problem solving. And so I saw mad gains in my ability to change my behaviors once I started taking omega-3, which wasn't, again, it wasn't, well, so it was a surprise. Like, even though I learned, right, probably 10 years ago that this helps with rat brains and it probably helps with human brains, I never took action and I never went ahead and got the omega-3 and never tried it out. And so when I did finally try it about 4 years ago, then it just totally changed my behavior. It made it so I could do chores that I didn't want to do. I mean, that's what I noticed. It was such a night and day difference. I didn't think omega-3 was going to make my life better. And then I was so stumped as to why after 4 weeks, like, I just had this aha moment and a light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, I've been living on this earth for many years. Like, things have always been this hard. And all of a sudden things aren't that hard anymore. And so that's when I put 2 and 2 together and I said, wow, it must have been the omega-3. And then I started recommending it to all my clients who have substance abuse and mental health problems. And then their problems got drastically better as well. And so, and that's what the research shows, right? Like, so it's 25 to 30% of the weight of your brain is supposed to be electrical insulation. And so when you don't get enough omega-3 in your diet, then it's a problem. So I've been recommending this to people in HEX because, again, when it comes to your investments, you don't want to operate from a place of fear, and you want your prefrontal cortex to be online at all times. And what better thing could there be than something you just have to take this vitamin? It's like a supplement vitamin. It's literally, I mean, you could get it from eating fish. But for a lot of people, that's just not convenient. And so I take my omega-369. It's called omega-369. In HEX, the inflation rate is 3.69%. So it's like, it's a date with destiny whenever we talk about it on this channel. And it warms my heart so much that in my experience as a substance abuse and mental health counselor, like, I've been able to help probably like hundreds of people in the past 4 years with omega-3 and with therapy skills, right? All the skills that people need to learn in order to improve their behavior and to become the best version of themselves possible, like, all of those require the prefrontal cortex to be operating at its best. And so whenever people can start off with, I like to say, upgrading their prefrontal cortex from an iPhone 1 to an iPhone 20, right? Like, that's what we're talking about here. When you're giving your body the materials that it needs in order to get the job done and to make those electrical connections go through. It's a big deal to me that now there are hundreds of people, watching my videos, up to thousands of people. And so it's super exciting that some of you are deciding, and I get messaged and people say, wow, I started omega-3 2 weeks ago and I'm already noticing a difference. I started it 4 weeks ago and, like, I'm not sure if it's that or something else, but, like, I'm feeling really good. Right. And, I mean, it blew my mind. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but our own Balliet brand was doing a stream educating other people about omega-3 once he had noticed that it started working for him. And so that's what I'm talking about when we get network effects in these healthy behaviors. Then that strengthens the hands in HEX, and it pumps our bags and it pumps our quality of life. So I will go ahead. I'll share the link. people keep telling me I need to get a ref link or I need to like get my own brand of omega-3, like, and I'm sure I'll work on that one of these days. I think it's not necessarily going to be something that's super profitable, but it'll be something, I don't know. I'm interested in it. I want it to be part of my platform going forward because I do want to help people's lives improve. And so I just put the link. It's not a referral link. It's just a regular link to the exact kind that I get I buy them in person in Sam's Club, but you can buy the Sam's Club brand from Amazon. And so I would encourage people to go ahead and just take action now. And that brings us into our next topic of self-care, which is a way to help reinforce self-esteem. And let me catch up with the chat here, and then we'll get into that. Let's see. Cookie Boys. Goofy is a positive trait. Thank God for that. Well, Crypto 303, you're certainly witty and goofy yourself and always coming up with great points. So keep it up. I appreciate you in the chat. Anything new? I vote for the anger worksheet next. Sure. I love talking about anger management. That's a major topic for people, and that can help with your quality of life. And that's something I would say that I've specialized in, is helping people with anger management. It's when I talk about my specialties, it's like I do a lot of work in substance abuse with severe cases. I do a lot of work. I run a healthy relationships group. That's a therapy group through my clinic. I talk a lot about depression. I treat people with anxiety. But anger management is one of those things that people get assigned to from the criminal justice system and stuff like that. And so that's a topic that comes up a lot. I specialize a lot in trauma care as well. So people who have been on kind of both sides of the, and I mean, a lot of times, when people get angry, it's because they've been abused in one way or another, or because, for a lot of reasons. We'll get into that. It's not always that people who are angry have been abused, but it's people who are angry definitely need help. And so we'll do an episode about that. I would love that. Thanks for the suggestion. Because I have a lot of special, like, after doing 11,000 hours of therapy with people, I have some pretty good insights into how people can master their anger, and I've seen people change their lives by being able to do that. Busy moving the girlfriend from one apartment to another. Yes, Brian, well done. Let's see. I am staked. I am honest. Didn't I read that a long time ago? Okay, maybe I'm in the wrong part. Here we go. Omega-3s, very good. I'm going to have to pick up some 369. Excellent, A human. The only situation where people would not take omega-3 is if they're on blood thinners, and then you would talk to your doctor first. By the way, Richard Hart takes omega-3. He talks about it too. So if you want to be like Richard and you want to be in the cult, then maybe you have to take omega-3. Another one you should look into is cognitive function. You should look into for cognitive function is lion's mane shrooms. People have talked about that. You'll have to tell me more. I'm not an expert on that. Let's see. Yes, Balia Brand has been taking omega-3 since we covered it when Joe Hexotic was on the show, and I'm happy that you were an early adopter, Bran, of the HEX Therapy Omega-3 Challenge. Let's see. You can get omega-3 by eating whales. Wow, I believe it. Some fish have much more omega-3 than others, and so I know salmon is a good source, but then there are some fish that have very little omega-3, so it depends on the fish. And HEX creates new whales. So we're going to eat the old whales lunch from Bitcoin and other more scammy coins. And we might even eat the whales themselves if they're going to be a good source of energy for our prefrontal cortex. I think you can get omega-3 from chia and flax seeds. That is correct. In fact, the Spartan, some army, some like legendary fighters used to eat chia seeds because they're a very advanced form of omega-3 that also contains antioxidants, but super high form of energy and omega-3. Network effect is the real deal. That's right. Let's see. Hey, Maddie, hope you're well. I've been using omega-3 for a week and have been having really intense dreams. Have you experienced this? No, I've not noticed that. That's interesting. I think I know people are scientifically proven to have more REM rebound when they quit cannabis and alcohol, because those are two substances that inhibit REM sleep. And so if you've made other changes in your life other than omega-3, then that would certainly explain it. But since omega-3 is strengthening the wires in the brain, I would not be surprised if it caused somebody to have more intense dreams, especially because dreams are essentially telling you that your memory system is backing up more data, and it's not necessarily more data, but it's an indication that you're forming long-term memories and consolidating memories that already exist. I can definitely do a stream about sleep and dreams and stuff. People would be super interested in that. I know a lot about that too. Sleep and dreams. Okay, I'm writing down topics for future HEX Therapy streams, because that's how I'm getting these topics is because you all are telling me what's so interesting, what the interesting topics are. So we had HEX and dreams. Yeah, HEX and sleep and dreams and HEX. And then we had anger management. I'm taking notes. I hope you are too. Let's see. I hope they're not bad dreams. ABCD1234. I also hope that's not your password for everything. I mean, unless you just don't want to forget it, but let's see. Salmon also has omega-3. Yes. Something for the pescatarians out there. That is right. Let's see. Okay. Dead air. I get the Solgar brand omega-3. Okay. I hope that works well for you. Thank you, Aaron Ellis. I appreciate you saying that. This is for entertainment purposes. This is not therapy. As I am not allowed to practice therapy over state lines. And, but I appreciate you saying that maybe this helps you to see what I've done with my behavior change strategies, and it's a form of free speech that allows people to help themselves. That's really my goal here. Let's see. I've been assigned to this stream. Very good. Maddie helps beta males overcome their female traumas and transforms them into alpha males. Well, thanks, Cookie Boys. I hope that I help people in a number of ways, but being being an alpha male, there's advantages to that for sure. I can say, alpha is greater than HEX than 369. All good things, right? Is greater than fiat, like for sure. Yes, I work with smoking and gambling for sure. Let's see. I went from an iPhone 1 to an iPhone 7 with Omega 369. Bye now. Excellent. Yes. Part of my marketing to say it's like upgrading your brain from an iPhone 1 to an iPhone 20. Although I don't know if there's an iPhone 20 yet. We appreciate it. Only fish that eat other fish. And Aaron Ellis, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching and contributing. It means a lot. And then Brand, thank you so much for the $3.69. And I appreciate what you do as well, helping to propagate the messages here. Dude, your Quantcast with Whales and Cream is one of my new favorites. Oh, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I love those streams too. And it's an honor to be able to go on with those guys and to get to do those streams because it was really missing, right? Like the charts. And so we're able to share those now and really to understand, I mean, HEX is the first asset in history to have a truth engine that shows the future market supply. And that's something that we're going to keep getting into and more. Like these Quant Gang episodes keep getting more and more informative. You know, you would think that we would run out of stuff to talk about whenever we did an 8-hour stream and a 6-hour stream and a 7-hour stream. And I don't remember what the other one was, but you know, we've already made more than 24 hours of content and like, it's just getting started. So, I already went ahead. I get so excited with these Quant Gang streams. Like I've already picked the title and the thumbnail for next week as soon as I got done on Tuesday. And we're doing it every Tuesday. I think it's going to be our 5th episode coming up. And the 5th episode is going to be titled Emergency Start Stake. Because, you know, the last thing you want to do in HEX is emergency end stake. But maybe the first thing you want to do is realize how much an emergency it is that the T-share price only goes up. And you might want to like emergency FOMO into HEX now because you're looking at the charts and seeing how much they show even what your return on your investment is in HEX, right? Which is just, it blows us away every time we look at those. So I've been taking cod liver oil and had a very omega-3 rich diet growing up. My parents grew up on an island, so that's the default diet. Excellent. Yeah, that's very good. No wonder you're so witty in the comments. Sea moss capsules, haven't heard of them. Let's see. And same, it's the dream team, the Three Musketeers. Thanks. Yeah, and we'll I think we'll have a special guest on Tuesday as well. I'm not going to ruin all the surprises now, but I'll just say somebody who is in the HEX conference who we haven't heard from in a while and who I personally really enjoyed their talk might be joining us for the next Quant Gang. Okay. Thank you for the great streams, Maddie. Thank you so much, Crypto303, for the 3.69 pounds. Very, very appreciative of you. And Ryan Dobek, thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. I really appreciate it. I guess I would have to fire up YouTube here to be able to see what the stickers are. For some reason, it doesn't pull through here, and I really want to see them. Because I know there's lots of choices you can choose from those stickers. Hopefully my computer doesn't melt here when I go into this. Okay. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it trying to melt. Ooh, the red thumbs up. Thank you. Very good. That sticker. And then there's a sticker earlier. No, it won't let me go back that far. I'll have to catch it on the replay. I'll be able to see. So we got a lot of people watching on Twitch as well. We got a lot of people on YouTube. I appreciate it. Let me see. I'm going to close out there. And Crypto303, you take a shot of it, or is it a pill for the cod liver? Cod oil? Cod liver oil. Sleep in dreams is my jam. I shoot up recreationally. Oh, shooting up that. I don't think it works the same way when you shoot it up. Maybe it does, but I wouldn't recommend it. This is not medical advice. This is not shooting up advice either. Let's see. Man, sign me up. Right on. Interesting. Yeah, not bad dreams, just really intense. Be fun to stream more on the topic. Yes, absolutely. People love talking about dreams, and I can run it all the way back to Freud, and so yeah, we'll definitely have a stream on that. People, dreams are interesting, and I can, I got a lot to say on dreams. Let's see here. Which brand is preferred? Oh, I wonder if I still have it on my clipboard. There we go. That's the Nardo. That's the kind of omega-3 that I take. Go ahead and get you some. I want all the hexagons out there to, be able to be as healthy as you can be. And by the way, listen, the omega-3, it's a rubbery material, right? That insulates the electrical wires in your body and in your brain. Just like your cell phone charger cord, right, has a rubber insulation around it that makes it so you don't get shocked, and so that the energy gets where it needs to go to charge your device. It turns out that in the body, you need rubbery material for a lot more than just insulating electrical wires. So for example, in the heart, a lot of the valves are actually made from omega-3. And so I'm not sure if it's probably not called the myelin sheath. But again, omega-3 is, it's prescribed by some doctors to people who are old, for heart health. And then also it turns out that a lot of your eyeball is made up out of rubbery material. And so it can be good for your vision and for your eye health to be taking omega-3. So it's not just for your brain health, which, that's kind of what I care the most about. But yeah, the rest of your body as well is going to benefit, and your health span will be increased, I do believe. Checking out. Thanks again for your service, Maddie. Take care of everyone. Just remember to keep away from the refined sugar and consume oatmeal for a healthy heart. Okay, very good advice. I should find a way to drink the tears of HEX haters that doesn't taste so much like Red Bull. That'll be my goal. While still trying to bring you the best that I can and show up with my A game. You got to get your brain started some way. And maybe I'll switch to that shock device that I have that, I'll just do a little of that to wake up and get ready. But then I'll be shocking myself, and I'll condition myself to not want to stream. So we'll have to figure that out one of these days. Crazy how HEX can generate content and more new info. Yes, it is. I didn't necessarily see that coming. I thought I would already know as much as there is to know about HEX after this long. I know I haven't been streaming for that long, like 4 months or something, but still, I do it every day. I spend hours on HEX content. And I spent hours and hours before HEX learning about crypto for years. My average for the first 2 or 3 years knowing about crypto is probably just like 1 or 2 hours a day reading articles and consuming as much knowledge as possible, learning how to program a Bitcoin node, just everything I could learn. But it's awesome to be on the cutting edge of the new economic theory, because as was it Silver the Antidote that said it, or Richard? A lot of people have been saying, no, it was Steph. Steph was the one from Sticker App who said it most concisely that HEX, he's a data scientist, and he has never seen anything like HEX, of course. And so that's why he realizes that HEX is so brand new. We don't even know how people are going to react to it into the future. It's like new territory for economics. And that doesn't happen very often where there's brand new territory for economics. And so that's why it helps to have a quant gang put together for us to be able to analyze and make predictions and look at data and charts and understand what does this mean for the psychology, for the quantitative analysis, for the onboarding, right? You can hear my opinion. I don't want more hedge funds to get into HEX. I don't want billionaires to get into HEX. Like, I hope they never get in. I hope they get in last. I hope HEX creates so many new whales. I hope the squids become whales. Maybe even turtles. Like, however. Okay, all right. We need to do a show about that too. The list is ever increasing. Okay. Let's see. Cherries give you very intense dreams too. Yeah, whenever you consume sugar right before you go to sleep, some people report an increase in nightmares. And so if you're having nightmares, just simply restricting your consumption of sugar or candy within 2 hours of bedtime, that can solve the problem for some people. I told a client that, and they came back the next week and they were like, "You cured my nightmares." And then I was like, "Oh, I ate some candy like before I went to sleep one night in the past week, and like then I had a nightmare." Like, so it was like a full comparison. Let's see. I never see dreams, maybe once or twice a year when I can remember. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we'll cover that in the dream and nightmare stream. Ooh, that's a good title. You guys are seeing it happen. You're seeing all the light bulbs go off in my head just from what I'm learning from you guys and you know, by discussing these things openly. Bit finesse. I'm so late. Don't put your health in the hands of middlemen. It's best in your own hands. Middlemen can't help you. Don't believe their lies. Tell them, Maddie. Well, that's right, Bit finesse. And I would hate to be a middleman who, you know, had the unlucky fortune of running into you, because I hear you don't take too kindly to middlemen. And I don't blame you. I don't take too kindly to them either. In 2036, I want to use my gains to build a roller coaster in the shape of the price of the HEX price log chart. The linear one would be too dangerous. Ooh, wow, that's a quote. Somebody quote that. All right, somebody put that on Twitter, Crypto303. I think you'll get a lot of likes and a lot of retweets out of that one. And I believe you. You know, I mean, who wouldn't want to ride that ride? I mean, we're riding the ride right now with our investment, right? Like, you know, who did it better? I would say both are pretty cool, but yeah, I would say I'm riding that ride, and I would ride that ride, both. That is our much in HEX. Anything can happen. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Very true. Yeah. I mean, you know, do whatever you want. Like, and then it's up to you, right? It's your responsibility. Whatever horse you want to bet on. You know, for a long time before I was getting into crypto, and when I was getting into crypto, and since then, I always am fascinated by the question of like, what is this? Is this gambling or is this investing? Right. And, I think it depends what game you're playing, but I think the question gets answered by the proof, right? That happens whenever you do take some gains in certain cryptos. Like, you know, I've sold certain cryptos that have gone up, and I wouldn't necessarily have sold them if it wasn't for HEX doing so well. So let's see. Awesome. Nardo ordered some. Let's see. Half a cup of oats give the cardio benefit of running 5 miles a week. No joke. I ran 4 miles today. I was so happy. I haven't been able to run in a long time because of the weather where I live, but thankfully it broke. Because I do not do as well when I don't get my exercise. Definitely not. But then you also get some oats, and then you're running 5 miles a week in the amount of health that you have. That's awesome. I should do both. I love getting my oats. So what kind of oats are these? Do you have a ref link? Are you showing something here? Because I need something concrete and specific so that I can buy it and know. I want to have the breakfast of champions that Bitfinesse has. HEX has so many unrealized derivatives. Derivatives. Well, that's a financial term. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I think I know that HEX has a lot of goodies under the hood. HEX is groundbreaking, and it's plain to see for the day oneers. Excellent. Well, welcome, OGs and no coiners and new coiners alike. Welcome to the world of HEX. I still can't believe the Wall Street's moderator was on that call I did earlier. That's so cool. I don't even all right, maybe I do want Wall Street bets to get into HEX. Like, yeah, I'd be okay with that. I'd be way more okay with that than all of the hedge funds and billionaires getting in. I don't want them to get in. I will, if Chamath calls me up, I'll be like, dog, it's a scam. Don't do it. Real talk. But I will let him buy the new coin that Cookie Boys and I are coming out with, and whoever suggested it. We got our new Clubhouse coin coming out, so I'll let him buy that, before I dump on his head. Let's see. We need a Telegram room, HEX Quant. Sure, they can get in at the end. That is right, Motley Investor. No other way. We're letting them in because of this low liquidity. Look, the liquidity keeps going lower, which is awesome for the middle class person to get in, I believe. Let's see. And when I bought HEX yesterday, the fee was $40. Now, I'm not going to say that was nothing, and I'm not going to say that it was everything, but I FOMO'd in. I was like, oh shoot, it's at 83% of a penny. And I FOMO'd in, and then the price lied to me and went down to 78% of a penny. But I don't know that I can buy it at that. Because again, low liquidity will lie to you. It will pretend like the price can drop lower and can go higher. But what we know is when that price really takes off, a lot of times it leaves people behind, and that's what it's done. That's what we've seen. We've seen it happen. Greetings, fellow Hexicans. Yes. Good stream topic. Thanks, Toblerus. My fellow psychology person. Social psychology is what Toblerus specializes in, as well as art therapy, apparently, because his art is so awesome. Let's see. Big Genesis whale, good accounted. Their steak? Oh, is that the one that came out 5 days ago or something? Interesting. Interesting, Blue Bomb. Somebody said that earlier in the chat. What do we think of that? Let's see. The way to determine if it's gambling or investing is by the ratio of risk to reward. Okay, good. I wish I would have risked more on HEX when I got in on day 4 and when I dollar cost averaged in after that. I didn't put a whole lot in. But I mean, I'm happy. I'm grateful for being early, for sure. I think it's still early. Why do you think I'm still buying? How cool is it that we can spend time, for example, with Maddie learning and talking about what's useful while we wait for our steaks? Excellent point. Excellent point. Yeah, the weight is on. Proof of weight instead of proof of waste. We are the new POW. True nutrition is to create your own oats. Wow, that's pretty advanced. Like, I need instructions, people. How do I create my own oats? Any oats? Well, like, are we talking like Raisin Bran cereal? I know nothing about nutrition, guys. Like, I can tell you almost everything about omega-3, but beyond that, I know how to count calories and lose weight that way. I know how to exercise. That's not part of nutrition. I'm here to learn. What's up, Nate J? How's it going? You still got a lot of snow there in Chicago? Adoption is the goal. Motley Investor, are you saying you're going to let Chamath in? I'm not letting him in. Make sure he talks to you before he talks to me. Unless you're talking about adopting Clubhouse Coin, which I know you're going to be buying it. I know you, Motley. Motley and I compete for airdrops and I lose, but I don't know when that, it's an ongoing thing. So he's kicking my ass right now, but I still believe in myself, and I think we're both still we're still both sitting pretty, living large and laughing easy. Let's see, $40 for how much HEX? I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I bought, but let's say it was in between $1.5 and $2,000, somewhere in there. Yeah, it was. I thought that I probably would have paid a higher fee after I got so excited from the Quant Gang, and after I'm studying the price history and like the addresses and like everything that's going on with the FUD situation that's happening with all these stakes coming out soon. I mean, and the high fees, like preventing people from putting in smaller amounts. I just spent about that amount in fees for about $2,300 worth of USDC to HEX. Not bad. I paid $225 last night to stake my HEX on the Staker app. Ouch. Yeah, I think so. I think when you do a ladder on the Staker app, it provides convenience, but I'm not sure that it actually costs less than just doing them individually. I could be wrong on that. That's something I'm still learning. MetaMask needs to stop playing and airdrop that mass token. I think the reason they're waiting is to have more early adopters, but I think it's coming. I don't know, maybe not. Whatever. We've all made our beds and now we have to sleep in them. That is only one of the fees. Wow. Yeah. Did you try Quick Swap Way, Crypto Coffee? I don't understand that yet. I don't understand the layer 2 HEX thing. Somebody explain it to me, or I'll watch the video and then I'll try to understand. But I don't want my HEX on layer 2. I want my HEX staked. I'm not going to be buying and selling HEX back and forth all the time on layer 2. I mean, I don't get it. For other, I played with ZK swaps just to see how it works, but I don't know. I don't understand the quick swap thing. Probably paid around $600. Wow, in fees. Hopefully you get an airdrop to make up for that. I want to live large and laugh easy. Well, stick around and we'll talk about it. Had to get those cheaper T-shares before the big stakes are coming out. Yes. Well done. Motley is winning. The MetaMask one, if they airdrop, yeah, right. Yo, I will not even say. All I will say is it's not over until, the fat airdrop sings. And, Molly and I, in our competitive nature, will not disclose to either of the other how many MetaMask wallets we've created. But, I think he and I will both be winning. But it's, there's also a downside, right? Like fees could drop super low. And then, even if he's already created more wallets than I have, then there could be more wallets created, or, the airdrop might come sooner rather than later, or it might not come at all. And so, we will see. We will see. I've converted all this to pounds in my head. So much divided by 1.4. Brand, okay. Another language. Wonder what that means. Is quick swap like honey swap? I think it is on the Matic network. Somebody said it's the Matty network. Let's see. I paid $45 to end a stake of 32K hex. Oh, not bad for an end stake. I mean, super expensive, but that's, yeah. Like what can you do? I mean, let's see. Think of layer 2 as a sister chain beneficial for multiple transactions. Okay. Coffee is a trading degenerate. Oh no, I will not slander coffee this way. Coffee is a stimulating substance and an excellent hexakin. I won't say anything else. Let's see. Crypto Coffee explains quick swap well, and you can put hex back on a layer 1. Well, yeah, but why do you need to go on layer 2 in the first place? Oh, because when you buy it, it's cheaper? Okay. Okay, maybe I get it now. Maybe. Okay, I could see that. So you already have like ETH, and then you have to wrap it, and then I'm gonna have to look at the numbers. I'll give you my my opinion. I will. Okay, whoever's speaking in another language, just go ahead and use Google Translate and translate it before you enter it into the chat here. It's much more expensive to end a stake than to start a stake, simply due to the amount of work that needs to be done to compute the end stake, even though it's still super efficient. He told me how many. I won't say obviously, but if you got more, then yes. Okay. Rolled oats. Oh, thanks, Bitfinesse. You're I guess you're buying my oats for me. Dropping the $4.99 super chat. I really appreciate it. Rolled oats. Doing a Google search now. Okay. How to roll oats? Am I rolling them or am I buying them rolled? I'm so confused. Is oatmeal? Does that have oats in it? You guys are gonna laugh at my plebeian nutrition. Let's see. Thank you for that donation, Bitfinesse. I appreciate it. And what was this other? Okay, Ryan. Yeah, did the super sticker. Thank you. Let's see. You can buy hex straight from your bank account using Dharma. I got Dharma on my phone once and I didn't like it for some reason. But if it works for you, that's great. That's good to know about. I think the onboarding is going to keep getting better and better until the regulators get sick of it. Or maybe they'll just get bought out like somebody said the other day. Did Richard say that? No, I think it was somebody on a different podcast. It's hard to keep track. I try to keep track of who said what. Matic, ALLin. I've never been on the Matic network. I was watching a video last night about how you like claim some airdrop if you continued to hold uni. You have to like create a bridge to like some weird pancake layer. And then it costs like $250 to like qualify it to claim because you have to own one token of this or that. Like it seemed like a whole thing. So I don't know. I don't mess around with anything just because it says airdrop. But you guys can watch the episodes I've done about airdrops and see what I have messed around with. Transfer cost back to L1 for Hex was about $40. Good to know. That helps us do the calculation. Bob's rolled oats are great. Bob's rolled oats. Do I just eat them straight? I mean, I don't even know what this is. Is it like granola? Is it like a granola bar that's not stuck together or what? Let's see. I'm going to bookmark that. Thank you. Let me see. Okay. My computer's acting up. I got too many tabs open. Let's see. Buying the rolled oats instead of instant oatmeal or other kinds of oatmeal that are too processed. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it does sound Binance-y. I think it was super Binance-y. Okay, as promised, this will not be a 7-hour stream. And let me tell you just my opinion and what I've seen about how people's self-esteem efforts can sometimes not work out. So again, I've worked with a lot of people and I didn't realize this until I started asking my clients for feedback. How did it go when you were practicing esteeming yourself, right? Self-esteem is an action verb. And so it's something that you have to take action on to review. It's something that is a mindful activity that you can trigger for yourself by setting reminders or putting reminders in your environment. And by increasing the vocabulary, your positive word vocabulary, by looking at the positive traits list on therapistaid.com, as well as any other sources. Where people sometimes run into trouble is whenever they're working on building their self-esteem, and as people said in the chat, you don't believe yourself. If you're patting yourself on the back, like that doesn't always line up with your beliefs. Sometimes you feel like, oh, that's not true. I'm just saying that I'm so great, and I don't really believe it. And so this gets into the psychology of how to change your beliefs. And I can tell you how to do this. If you have negative self-beliefs, whenever you try to generate positive cognitions and self-esteeming statements, your negative beliefs about yourself, they will take over and they'll say, you aren't that great. What are you saying? You know, show me proof, right? And so literally the way that I've explained this to people is the best strategy for changing your negative beliefs about yourself is to do something I call walking the walk and talking the talk at the same time. The talking the talk part is where you esteem yourself using positive statements. The walking the walk part is where you do self-care activities. You do things with the intention of taking care of yourself, okay? And these are things, they could be things that you're already doing to take care of yourself and you're labeling them. You're like reflecting on these positive behaviors that you're doing, or it could be something special. And so there's a list called the Big List of Healthy Activities, and you can Google it or we'll link it in the chat and or we'll link it in the show notes. And the Big List of Healthy Activities gives a bunch of activities that you can do to take care of yourself, such as, you know, your hygiene, right? You could brush your teeth. That's something that you might already be doing regularly. Or you could make yourself your favorite meal. Or you could set aside some time to listen to music that you enjoy. Or you could watch funny videos online. Even though these things seem simple, and they might be things that you're already doing, it becomes a much more powerful thing when you're not doing them subconsciously and you're not missing that opportunity to esteem yourself at the same time when you are taking care of yourself. And what this does is it, even if you don't believe, I am wonderful, I deserve to have good things happen to me, right? I deserve to treat myself well. If you don't believe that, and yet you tell yourself that, and at the same time you take care of yourself, then what you're doing is you're proving to yourself that this is a fact, and you're giving yourself that experiential treatment that you need in order to change your negative beliefs. So negative beliefs, they change when you experience something different. And so if all you're doing is talking bad about yourself, thinking negative thoughts, and you're doing things that are unhealthy, then that's going to reinforce the negative beliefs. But when you flip the script, when you start esteeming yourself at the same time that you're doing self-care activities, then that's where you really get the power to change your beliefs about yourself. So for example, when you're brushing your teeth, telling yourself like, oh, I deserve to be healthy and to have clean teeth and good breath, and I deserve to take care of myself, right? Because I'm awesome, right? That would be an example of how you walk the walk and talk the talk at the same time, right? When you're making yourself your favorite meal, or when you're preparing yourself something healthy, even when you're eating your Bob's rolled oats, right? You can tell yourself, I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to live longer and have a longer health span because I'm awesome, right? And even if at that moment you don't believe that you're awesome, again, you're giving your brain that evidence that you're awesome because you're acting on it and you're saying it at the same time. Let's see. People are still talking about oats and pancakes, steel cut oats, oats for pancake. Pancake swap is like a scam, like copy paste of Uniswap that is made by Binance. I don't know. That's funny to me. And then they made something called like the Pangolin network. Then that's the airdrop that you're supposed to get if you still hold your Uni tokens, this and that. Say it long enough and it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's right. What's up, Abit? Yo, I watched your video. Okay, let's talk about Abit for a second because he's doing some awesome things. First of all, Abit, mad respect to you, ALLin Bittner, for living like a homeless person, you said. I mean, you lived a very modest lifestyle for a whole year so that you could buy more HEX and so that you could have mad gains in your future. And now you're living the dream, becoming a traveler of the world and pivoting your own YouTube channel so that you're not only doing the Crypto Sparbox show, but you're also doing a travel channel and you're living it up now in Mexico. You got a little bit of a sunburn the first day, but you gave a great speech on how it's okay to eat the same food that you've eaten before because you like it. Yo, that's what's up. You're making awesome content. I really like what you're doing. So keep up the good work, man. Like, it's so exciting to see people traveling. Like, traveling is one of my passions. And I had been planning a trip around the world. But then I put that off because I wanted to buy more crypto. And so, you best believe that that's still in the cards for me, I hope. And so I think you set a great example by even showing people where you started, really, and telling the story of, how you lived modestly. You couldn't even stand up like all the way in your makeshift apartment that you made for yourself while you were renting out your real apartment. And I'm very inspired as usual with you. Everybody follow Abit HEX in his journey around the world. I believe he's in Mexico. I wanted to go meet up with him in Mexico. I really did. I had my finger on the button, but I didn't get a chance this time. So, but he'll be there. He'll be meeting up with Randy here in a week or two. Everybody check out his video. It's he's in a beautiful Mexico. Let's see. You know what? Nobody ever says anything about people. People talk about my beautiful long curls. Thank you. I appreciate. What supplements do you take to get those? Okay, I'll tell you. You ask, I'll tell you. Biotin. I grew my hair from being this long. I've had long hair before, never this long, but it's been almost this long. I grew it from here all the way down to here in 4 months or 6 months or something. Biotin it's a vitamin you can take. The pregnant women take it, but also people who want to grow their hair 3x the speed. And also it grows your fingernails, and so it contributes to your fingernail health and your skin and your hair health. So I took like the maximum, I think it's 10,000 micrograms or 5,000 per day. And I still do, like maybe every couple days I take that. It's awesome to have hair that grows faster and is growing in a healthy way. So thank you. Yeah, I try to take care of I have grown out my hair because I know I'm going to go bald. And so this is like the last hurrah for my hair. I even have a friend who's like going to tell me like when the gig is up, and whenever, because I don't want to be like so bald and then I just have like a super long mullet or something. Like I need people to tell me, when I lose too much, but I started taking one of those hair loss medicines just because, again, last hurrah and all. Let's see. I'm a hexakin. That's right. A-Bit, Hexalted says he loves your new travel channel. Very inspiring. How is Acapulco? I bet your self-esteem is pretty high right now. Ooh, nice. Congrats, man. You delayed gratification. Price living in the basement, and look at your life now. Absolutely. Yes. We love it when people in our community do well. We really do. Let's see. Nice job on learning 3 languages and hanging out with Randy. Hexalted. Is it Hexalted hanging out with Randy? No. Maybe it is. They're not hanging out yet, are they? I thought they're going to be neighbors for like 2 weeks coming up here. So we better get a bunch of streams with you all together. And I saw Randy's wife on Black Babes the other day. Or is that what it's called? Yeah. I didn't get to see the whole thing. That's the thing. I'm like saving up. When you do it, when you work all day and then you have a 7-hour stream and then like people are posting so much content, you really learn how to use that 2x button, which I had never used before until recently. Mad respect. Yes. You motivate the rest of us. Yeah, let's live below our means, people. Let's do it. That's why I delayed my trip. Like I did a savings, like I saved for multiple years in crypto. My crypto went up and I kept delaying gratification and kept living within my means as much as I can. I've spent some money to get a microphone so that I'm not blowing out people's ears and stuff. But the community is awesome. And it's, that's again, why I'm still working. I'm working so I can pay my expenses and so I don't have to sell crypto and so that I can buy into crypto whenever I can. Yes, it's much awaited for the A-Bit and Randy stream. Much respect. Last of the holidays, then back to the grind. My point is, if I can do it, everybody can do it. Well, having delayed gratification is something that has to be learned, and you did an extra good job of that, like much better than most. I mean, you were eating like things that weren't that great. Like you were going all in on savings, and that's really awesome. I love this community. Yes. If somebody doesn't love the community, I don't know what their problem is. They already hung out. They didn't interview? What? Oh, today it came out. All right, we'll see. I'm going to emergency end this stream so I can catch up on all the Hex content everybody's been seeing. Do you guys see the 790 million good accounting? Okay, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want a good account, right? Because then it scares it. Well, what does it do? I mean, you're not restaking it yet, so you don't have tax problems. And then everybody, is going to be waiting to see what happens. And some people might sell because they're worried about what's going to happen. And then those big firms, they can scoop up more cheap hacks. And I can too, right? I'll be first in line. I love you guys. Everybody gave me so much feedback, and I'm totally motivated to do even more. Awesome. Very good. Yeah. Let's support Abit in his travels. And, and then, someday we're all going to probably have a travel channel. I don't know about you, but I love it. I love to see it. Hexicans will take over the world. We have Silver the Antidote showing his face and starting his travel channel. And Abet, and who else? Is there one other person doing a travel channel already? It's really good stuff. People always ask me why I drive an $8,000 car instead of something much better when they know I can afford it. Delayed gratification, my friend. Same here, David. Same here. I feel you on that. Thanks, Bran. It was great to see you, being one of the first to interview Markable Thoughts. I hope you didn't mind my Skyrim comment. Let's all be grateful we found Hex. Very true, very true. Ryan Lopez does a travel channel. All right, I knew there were more people. Okay. Abit says I could have counted the first few stakes, so it does not mint in my wallet yet. Otherwise, government would have took half of the profit for taxes. Wow. That is not good. So good for you. Good accounting is good. Let's see. I just bought all the ingredients for that sandwich. I'm going to make it for lunch tomorrow. The A-Bit sandwich. Ah, yes. Now remind me what that was. I forgot. I forgot what it was that you said that you were eating over and over again as like your inexpensive meal so you could put more into Hex. That's so awesome. And let's all learn, right? Let's learn from this. Even now might be a good time to accumulate and live below your means, right? That's a good skill, whether you're investing in Hex or whether you're just not selling, this generational wealth. I believe that the price of Hex could go parabolic for much longer the more that the Hex community gets more educated and more psychologically sound, right? Like we've already got a group of people who are awesome, and it seems like we make each other more awesome. And people, they don't know that they're going to sell necessarily until they hit the sell button. And so whereas we could see people FOMO into early end staking, we could also see people FOMO into keeping their word and keeping their stakes for the full duration. And so I hope to see that. I hope to see how it plays out. I will share my predictions as they come to me and as my thinking continues to develop. And you'll see me argue with Kareem about whether Hexicans will sell or not. I'm a little bit more bullish than he is on people not selling when the price goes up significantly. I think it'll be less than we expect. I think some people will sell, and that's what we already see. But I'm interested to see how it plays out because Hex has never existed before. So what did we learn today? We learned about self-esteem, and self-esteem is an action verb. You could compliment yourself whenever you make a Hex stake and you save for your future, right? That would be the perfect time. These are excellent opportunities, right? When you're taking care of yourself by saving for your future, when you're sending Hex through the fourth dimension of time to yourself, right? That's a powerful thing. And so I just want to leave you with those thoughts. To stake wisely, my friends, download the Staker app if you want to use my referral link at $hex.com or by using the QR code here. And let's continue to see how everything unfolds. I'm super excited for all the content that people are creating and all the stories and all the skills that are being built. So is there anything else to say? Check on the show notes. Check out every Tuesday night. The Quant Gang goes live after Hexologist. Every Thursday night is Maddie ALLin Live HEX Therapy live. And then I will continue to do pop-up shows. I've got a number of ideas for doing hopefully shorter shows like I have been here and there. Whenever there's news that I can't help but share and analyze, give you my thoughts, and learn from you, the audience, as well. Get your omega-3 and keep taking care of yourselves. And here's the outro.